YouTube, how you doing? My name is Michelle. I am owner of Shell's Crafting Corner, and I want to thank you for joining me. If you're new here, welcome. If you are coming back and revisiting, welcome back. So I'm starting to get into the groove a little bit of this whole recording thing again, for this channel at least. My other channel is still up in the air, but I decided that I want to do a weekly video called Finally Friday. And Finally Friday, I will be showing you everything I've crocheted throughout the week, which will be typically Saturday through Thursday night. If I do any crocheting Friday, depending on when I can get this video out, maybe Friday night, maybe Friday morning, I'm not sure yet, depending on my schedules, and you know, it's going to always be adjusted, so we'll work out, you know, the little nooks and crannies, if you will. So let's get started, because I have a ton of stuff to show you. I'm going to show you what I have. I'm going to tell you, to the best of my ability, where it came from, you know, whoever the website or the artist is. I will give you as much information as I can, and whatever I can't tell you off the top of my head now will show up here on the video. So let's start off strong, because we do know that next week is 4th of July. And we're going to start with this guy. State of New Jersey, my home state. Patriotic New Jersey. So this was made using the Loops and Threads Soft Classic in red, white, and blue. These stars are buttons. I got them off Amazon. I think it was a pack of 100. No, I apologize. I think it was a pack of 600 little stars. They are tiny stars. You could tell there. This is my fingernail. That's about the size of my fingernail, roughly. Yeah. I was only able to fit 26 on here because it's not a very huge thing. This is the back, just so you know. This pattern is from 3 AM Grace Designs, and this is a paid pattern. If you don't know 3 AM Grace Designs, beautiful website. They sell patterns, they sell safety eyes. I think they're just starting to sell hook organizers. They do have a couple of clubs that you can join when they open the doors to join. One I am a part of is the Kawaii Crochet Pattern Club. It's $9.99 a month right now, I think, because they went from doing regular size patterns to minis, which I'm loving. So originally it was $12.99, I believe, and then they went down to $9.99 because they're doing minis. You get 3 a month, sometimes 4 once in a while. And the best part about 3 AM Grace, they have things that cover every holiday. They do the whole alphabet, numbers, states. They have, I believe last time I counted, was 36 out of the 50 states. So they may be working on more right now, but I don't know. So, but it is a wonderful website. I love them. And this was very fun to make. Oh, and one more thing, I used an H hook for this. Okay, so keeping with the 4th of July theme, I came up with 2 more items that, one, I might not sell because I'm not crazy about the way it came out, but that's my own problem. It's operator's error. The other one is definitely sellable. So first I made this heart. Now, the pattern itself is from owlishly.typepad.com, if I remember correctly. If I'm wrong, I'll fix it up here, but I think that's what it was. Again, this is the red, white, and blue loops and thread yarns. This was a size G hook. Now, I didn't have the buttons that I just showed you on the State of New Jersey. So what I did is I got some fabric paint. And you can see I put little dots. And I was actually able to fit 50, I think, on here. Here's the funny thing, though. As soon as I was done with them, I laid it down to dry. And this is the reason why I'm not crazy about the way it came out. I love the pattern. The pattern is great. okay? Problem is, when I laid this down to dry, I wasn't paying attention and my arm ended up in it. So I had to try to wipe everything away because it was still wet. You could tell kind of where, you know, there's some white in here. So I had to do my best to try wipe away as much as I can, and then I had to redot everything. So that's why I'm not really set on selling this one, and somehow Chloe's hair got in here. So I might keep this for myself. I might put it in an oops box. I'm not really sure yet. But the pattern is very easy to read. And you can make this any size. If you want to go up to an I or a J hook, this is very easy with chunky yarn. If you want to go down and maybe use crocheting thread or baby yarn, this would make a really cute keychain. I love this pattern. It was very easy to work with. Now this one is an actual pattern. It tells you where to change your colors and which ones to use where. The Patriotic Owl. I think somebody actually calls this the 4th of July owl, but I'm going to call him the Patriotic Owl because you can really use them for any of the patriotic holidays that we have. Memorial Day, 4th of July, Flag Day, whatever. I love this, and this is adorable. And this is the back. Excuse the tag. I put all my information on here. Of course, I forget to put the websites, but I have a spreadsheet on my computer. This is from oliat.com/WordPress. Super simple. This works up in about an hour, hour and a half, depending on how fast you can crochet and sew everything together. I love it. They tell you exactly where to change colors, especially up here. I put in the stars here like they suggested. And this was fun to make. This really was fun to make. So again, oh, I forgot to say, loops and threads, once again, red, white, and blue. And this was a size H hook. I think that's it for my patriotic stuff. For now, I'm working on others. This is Coco the cat. Sweetheart. This is made with the Baby Bee Snugs and Kisses in the color Grape Jelly. This is the yarn from Hobby Lobby. And I used the size J hook and 16mm eyes. The nose I embroidered using loops and thread purple. Yeah, purple. So went with the purple scheme here. Now, the website I got this off was mariskavos.nl. I'll put it up here so you get the right one. And I believe she's got a few patterns, but this one works up very nicely. It's basically just rounds, and you only have to do the feet, the ears, and the tail. Oh, let me show you the back. Again, don't mind the tag. The tail, I believe, is actually longer than this, but I don't like to make them too long. Just personal preference. And again, the ears and the feet were very easy to work with. Super simple if you're a beginner. And very soft if you use the chunkier blanket yarn. So this next pattern I found on Facebook, but I think it's on Facebook by way of Instagram. And this is Betsy the Cow. There's Betsy. She's so sweet. She got her little horns and her ears. And I put these spots in by myself. The pattern doesn't call for these, but I did it. You know, I had to. Betsy was made with burlap blanket, white and black yarn, and the horns were made with the Mainstays chenille yarn from Walmart in the color gray. I used a size K hook on her, and this is 15mm eyes. If you look up Instagram, it's at stitchin_belle, B-E-L-L-E. I'll put that up here. Cute pattern. Again, I added the spots on my own. That she doesn't call for them. So if you want to add spots, you know, just do as you wish. And this was a fun one. This I enjoyed doing. I would actually like to do this in very many different colors, which I will probably end up doing. This is good if you're like not so much a beginner, maybe working between the beginner and the expert categories. So you have to be able to sew on, learn, you know where to start and stop to add on, you know, your little extras, because These are all sewed on. I think the arms are sewed on. The legs was, you know, you make one, then you make the other one, and then you combine them. So you got to just try to figure out how to do that. It was a good pattern. I like the way it was written. It was very easy to follow, and I'm definitely making more of these. All right, this next one is turning out to be a very popular one. I'm very glad I got on the bandwagon. Very sweet. This is from AnnieCarawayArt.com. I believe this is a paid pattern. I don't have notes down on whether this is free. I think this is paid, a paid pattern off of Etsy. It's a loaf cat. This one I did in just straight gray, and I believe I have another one made in one of my other boxes. In Burnett blanket tweeds in the color Woodlands. If I find it, you'll see it later on in the video. But this one I did in gray. This is the main stationery yarn, again from Walmart, in the color gray. Size K hook, 15mm eyes, and then just black for the little nose area. I didn't add the whiskers this time because I didn't want to deal with the extra hassle. I still think he looks very, very cute. Again, I think the tail is called to be, polyfill. I think the tail is called to be a little bit longer, but I like my tail short. I don't like the extra outage, but again, personal preference. This was a very easy pattern. The only hiccup you may get is your feet will not always be perfect, which is fine. You know, it's perfectly fine. But it was a very easy pattern to read. You just got to figure out where to put your feet in accordance to the ears. The ears were a little tricky, but after a couple minutes, I figured everything out. Again, Annie Caraway Art. This is becoming a very popular pattern, and I agree with it. It's wonderful to work with. Again, a good beginner pattern if you're starting out. Next up, I got a pocket bear. So cute. I love these guys. I have this color. This is bright red in loops and threads, and then a little bit of white. And I believe I did this in Red Heart Pumpkin. It's somewhere in one of my other boxes, I think. This is made with a 12mm eye and a 9mm nose. The only thing I forgot to do, because I had finished him so late, is I forgot to put his little indent nose and mouth here. So, but he still looks extra cute. Size G hook. This is from SpinAYarnCrochet.com. She's got a ton of free patterns, which this is one of them. I did this one. I think I did the duck. I want to say I did one more, but I couldn't guarantee it. Couple years ago, I did the fox. Funny story, I'll tell you really quick. Every November is my biggest show of the year, and it's in North Carolina. It's the Pitt County Holiday Bazaar. 2 years ago, I believe it was, I was next to a table where a lady was selling, what was she selling? Snacks, I guess. I guess that's the best way you could put it. She was selling snacks, dried fruits, and whatnot. She had a number of kids, and they were with her like almost every day. And her one daughter, who I think was her oldest child, wanted to start a reading program to help other kids learn how to read or just enjoy reading. And she had a name for it. I forget the name. I am so sorry I forgot the name. And she said, you know, how much, she saw my work, obviously. And she saw one of, I don't think it was a bear, maybe a duck. She asked me if I could do a fox, because the logo for this little girl's reading group was going to be a fox. And I said, okay, I can do a fox, no problem. I asked her, I said, what color do you want? She goes, I want orange. Okay, no problem. So I made up an orange one. Literally, I did it in a few hours after the night of the show. This was she wasn't there Thursday. She was there Friday. She missed the first night, I guess because of her children. She was there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So she asked me Friday if I could make the fox. So I went back to my hotel room Friday night, whipped it up, gave it to her on Saturday. The little girl wasn't there first thing Saturday morning, but she came in later in the afternoon, and she loved it. She's, you know, the mom was asking me, how much do you want? How much do you want? I said, don't worry about it. I said, you know, if you want me to make up a whole bunch, we'll work out a price. But I'll give this one to your little girl for free. Unfortunately, they never got back to me, and I'm not mad. You know, it's, you know, things happen. I guess they changed their minds, or I don't know, whatever the case may be. I haven't seen her. She never came back. I guess she didn't do well at the show. It is a very busy show, the one in November. You'll see it when we go down there in November. So again, Pocket Bear, spinayarncrochet.com. She's got a ton of patterns. She got a ton of free ones, and I believe she's got some paid ones. I believe if you want these without the ads, I think she has these for like $2 on Etsy. I'm not 100% sure. I will go back and check. I'll put the information up here. But this was such an easy workup. Here's the back. I'm sorry, you guys are going to see a whole bunch of tags. The back is always the solids. It's always the front that you have to do color changes, but the color changes are so easy. I enjoy working with, I call these rag dolls, because they're just, you know, kind of flat. They're not, you know, they're not 3D really. But she calls them Pocket Bears. I think I'm just going to change the name just so I don't feel like I'm taken after her. All my stuff, I'm going to change names eventually, just so that, you know, I can differ myself, and they're still going to get their credit, but I just like to change the names up a little bit. So Pocket Bear. This one is a little bit of a backstory. This is supposed to be a pattern for something that's the size of a keychain, but I upped it a little bit. I believe the original pattern calls for a D hook with like baby weight yarn, and I've actually bumped it up to an H hook, and I used the Bernat Baby Velvet in the color Aqua. This is called the Itty Bitty Kitty on the website, from thorsbycottage.com. THORES. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. Bycottage.com. She calls it the Itty Bitty Kitty. Again, it's small enough to be a keychain, and I upped it. And I made 2 of them. See how cute? I changed up the tails a little bit. This is the only one I made the tails like really this long, I think. On this one, I think it works better on here. But these are so cute. So I nicknamed these the Not So Itty Bitty Kitties because they worked up to a nice size. Very soft, very comfy. This is 12 millimeter eyes, and I believe it's a 9 millimeter nose. I'm not 100% sure. Again, I don't know if I mentioned I used an H hook on this, and they came out so sweet and so cute. I mean, I enjoyed this one. This is a super simple pattern as well. If you're just starting out, look for the easy patterns. Look for patterns like this. It just makes your life so much easier. And then you can work up to the crazier things. Okay, up next, I made some pickles. Apparently they're all the rage now, and they're so much fun to make. So I made 3 of these. This was made with the Bernat Blanket Mysticals in the color Spearmint with a size H hook and 15 millimeter eyes on each of them. Of course, a little bit of black thread just to embroider a little bit of the mouth. And if you look closely, you can see the little bumps in the pickles. So cute. So I made these 3. I apologize. The website is www.kooziecrafts.com, and I'll put the spelling up here. And then I made this little scrap guy. I had a little bit left of this yarn. This is the Bernat Blanket Smoky Green. Again, size H hook. Again, size 15 millimeter safety eyes. I just had a little bit left, so I made a little itty bitty pickle with just a little bit of scrap yarn. So cute. These are so much fun to make. I'm going to make a whole bunch more. I just got to find more green yarn. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you sweet pattern, okay? But it's going to come out funny because they actually came out. This one I did both with a G hook. This is Big Twist Black. Size G hook, 9mm eyes with a little bit of pink for the nose and a little bit of white for the mouth. This one I made with a G hook. I love this yarn, Daydreamery from Hobby Lobby. Again, 9mm eyes. I just did a mouth. And I added arms on this guy. I don't remember if arms were called in the pattern or not. This is from www.cookiesnobcrochet.com. I believe this is a free pattern. And I actually made this guy too. This is made with an H hook, and this is from I Love This Yarn Aegean Stripe. And again, 9mm eyes, a little bit of white, a little bit of white for the nose and a little black for the little mouth over here. Again, I didn't add arms to this guy. This is a super simple pattern. This is like a good scrap buster if you need to, you know, just use up some yarn that, you know, is just laying around. But this was fun to make. Okay, so for the next one, I'm calling this the Round Mouse. It's very cute, and I'm going to tell you what I changed about it, okay? First of all, the website is www.natalinacrafts.com. And this is, she calls this the No-Sew Crochet Mouse. And she offers 2 different sizes. This one I did with the Mainstays Gray yarn from Walmart. And I also used a size K hook, 15mm eyes, 13mm pink nose. Now the difference between what I did and the pattern calls for you to actually crochet the ears onto the body, same as the tail. I was having a little bit of difficulty with that. I understood what she was trying to tell us to do, but I just couldn't comprehend, I couldn't get myself to do it on the ears, on the mouse itself. So what I did is I made the ears separately. I believe what I did for the ears is in a magic ring, I did 5 single crochets and doubled the next round over to make it 10. And then sewed on where she told us to sew on. The tail is basically just a chain of, I believe I did 10 here as well, or 15, and then sewed it onto the bottom of the mouse. It's a super simple pattern. I just had trouble getting the ears to work for me, so I just did my own thing. I did them separately, and then I sewed them on. Again, same with the tail. This was a very cute one. She offers the same pattern with the material list for a smaller one, so you can make it a keychain or just have something small, maybe make it a cat toy with some nip inside. Very cute, and again, this is a very good one for a beginner crocheter. I know it's only a few months away, but I already started on some Halloween things, and the big thing I made was this zombie guy. This is the Voodoo Doll from abigurumi.tumblr.com. This is a large one because I did a size H hook with Bernat blanket, shady green, and then the red is I Love This Yarn, the little sampler ones in the color red. I did a 12mm eye and a 15mm eye, and then the stitches here, the eye little explosion, all the little cuts here, one on the little butt, and I did one on the back of the head as well. That's just stuff I put in by myself. You could pretty much mark it up as little or as much as you want. I just had some fun with it. I don't know if I said size H hook. And this is where you want to... This is one of the advanced ones. This is the one where you want to start advancing if you want to make bigger dolls. This was fun. I'm gonna make a whole bunch more of these. I might try to make them a little bit smaller too, with worsted weight yarn, and see how it comes out. But this was fun. I like him. He kind of looks, he really does look like a voodoo doll, but he kind of looks like a zombie too. So, you know, make it as you will, but this was fun to make. Again, I would say this is not a beginner. This is more going towards advanced. So if you remember the patriotic heart I just showed you a few minutes ago, these are 2 hearts from the same pattern. This was made, oh, sorry. This was made using the burnout blanket sparkle in the color limeade with the size H hook. And then this one was made with the burnout baby blanket frosting in the color Seaside, again with a size H hook. As you can tell, depending on the yarn and your hooks and whatnot, the sizes come out a little bit different. This one came out with more of a point. I don't understand why. I think maybe it may have been just a little, the yarn is a little stiffer and this one's a little bit more softer. So I think you get the stiffer the yarn, the pointier everything gets. I'm not mad at it. And it gives me options, but I would prefer if it were, you know, more of this size because it's just easier to work with. But I enjoyed this. Again, this was the owlishly.typepad.com. Very easy. Oh, I found another one. This is the Burnout Blanket Mystical Spearmint. Again, size H hook. Very fun to make. This is the heart pattern. Okay, going back to Spinning Yarn Crochet. This is the bear I made in... The problem with polyfill is it gets all over the place and it sticks to everything. I have to get my lint rollers and roll everything. This is the bear in the orange, and as you can see, I did embroider a nose here, and I did the little details with the nose and the mouth. This is the red heart pumpkin, and of course the white and the black. Size H hook, 12mm eyes. This is the back. Excuse my little tag, information tag. Again, solid on the back, color change on the front. It's super easy. Please make as many of these as you can. I'll plan on to. And sticking with the same website, here's a ducky. This is a pocket duck. This is the red heart petal pink and a little bit of yellow for the beak and the feet. 12mm eyes, and I used a size H hook for this one. Again, solid. This one is solid on both sides. The only color change is a beak. I don't remember if she gave you directions for the beak. I think she does. I'm not 100% sure. The feet she definitely does. You can either embroider a beak, or you can do, you know, something that sticks out a little bit more. Mine's flat, but this is super simple to make. Another website I love to use is Repeat Crafter Me. I believe the lady that runs the website, his name is Sarah, and she's got a ton of free patterns on her website as well, which I use a few, including these, the mini Yip Yips. These are the little smaller ones. You can get baby blanket or, you know, chunky, you can get blanket yarn or chunky yarn and make them a little bit bigger. This one I made using the Karen Jumbo in the color Russian Sage. It's an H hook, 9mm eyes, obviously white for the eyes. And then this one was the Big Twist in black and white. Get the mouth open so you can see that. He's not fighting me. This was so much fun to make. The only time-consuming thing is the fringe. But it's, once you get used to adding fringe onto the bottom of anything, this goes super quick. But again, it is a little time-consuming. Again, this is, the black one is a size H hook and 9mm safety eyes. Super simple. And again, this is another one you want to make so many different colors of. How cute. This is, I don't know if she calls it a pocket butterfly. I call it, again, ragdoll butterfly. This is, again, from Spinning Yarn Crochet. The wings were made with Karen Jumbo Russian Sage and Big Twist white for the detail and the body here. Size H hook, 8mm eyes. This was fun. This is not really a beginner pattern. This would be a little bit more advanced than beginner. It's a good pattern. It's a little tricky if you don't understand a lot of what to do. I had fun making this. I really did, and I'm gonna make more. But again, I wouldn't consider this a beginner pattern. But this is a good one to practice on for when you want to advance a little bit more. And sticking with Spinning Yarn Crochet. Little ragdoll dinosaur, he's so cute. I made this guy with I Love This Yarn, Aegean Stripe, and Big Twist yarn black. Size H hook, 12 and 10 millimeter eyes. I gave him two different size eyes. A little bit of a smile. He's got a little arm here, tiny, teeny little feet, and a whole bunch of spikes. This is a super simple pattern. It's basically, does it start up here or does it start down here? I don't remember, but it's really easy. The only time consuming thing again is these are all separate, and you either have to crochet them in as you're doing your outline, or if you want to take the easier approach, you could just sew them on. Same with the feet and the arm. Again, this is a super simple pattern. This is good as a beginner starting to advance. Again, spikes and the little arm and legs are just a little bit of time consuming, but it's fun. This fun guy. Look how sweet he is. I like this one. I just love the colors. This is I Love This Yarn and Daydreamy from Hobby Lobby. I used a size H hook and I used 15 millimeter eyes. Did I use blue? Yeah, I did use blue eyes. Look at it. It's so pretty. The nose I embroidered. And sorry. And of course you got to know how to sew on your extremities. But this is a good pattern to start when you want to get out of your beginner stage. This is probably one of my favorites just to go to when I need something quick and simple, like there's a new baby coming or somebody calls me up and says, hey, I need something by tomorrow. This would be my go-to. This is from pinktomatocrochet.com. It's a very simple pattern. Look at his little tail. It's a very simple pattern. Again, you just have to know how to sew on the extremities, the arms, the legs, the little tail, the ears, the muzzle. Also, you have to crochet separately and then add on after you add on his nose. Such a sweet one. I love this one. I might keep, no, I'm not going to keep this one. He can go to a home. I'll make another one. I made another heart. This one's a little bit smaller. This one was with a G hook. Don't mind the tag. This one I made with a G hook, and it came, you could see how much smaller it came out. And this is I Love This Yarn in white from Hobby Lobby. My Not So Itty Bitty Cats, the one I told you about. This one I made with the Baby Bee Adorable Happylicious. That's the color name. This is a size H hook with a 12 millimeter safety eyes and a 9 millimeter safety nose. Little tail. He's so cute. I just love his color. I love the colors in this one in Happylicious. They're just so much fun. Nice pastels. And this would be good for, you know, learning your colors. It's not so in your face. It's just easier to work with, in my opinion. But this is another not so itty bitty kitty. All right, continuing my trend with making things super duper large. I have a pattern from littlemuggles.com, and it's supposed to be a smaller mouse. You know, not too small, not too big, but I made him jumbo. I made this guy using loops and threads, Fluffy Flex. I'm guessing the color gray, because I don't have his color down. Gray, pink, and white. Obviously, we know what the gray, the pink, and the white. This has got size 15 millimeter safety eyes, and I used a size K hook. Tail is a little bit long on this guy because he's a bigger guy. Look at the feet. He got jumbo feet. But this was so much fun to make. The nose you have to sew on, the ears you sew on, the extremities you sew on. But this is an easy pattern. Just like the teddy bear, if this would be another go-to if I needed a quick workup. I'm going to work this in a worsted weight yarn at some point. Again, this is a little bit of a thicker guy. He's so cute. I just love the colors on this one. Yeah, this is one of the ones you can play with the different size hooks and yarn, and it still comes out absolutely cute. So I'm hoping, because we are at the tail end of June right now, I'm hoping next year I can get into some spring/Easter vendor shows, craft shows, whatever, because these are adorable. I love these. This is from Repeat Crafter Me again, and it is a free pattern. I made this using the Bernat Baby Blanket Sparkle. I think the color is Sunshine. 12mm eyes, a little bit of scrap for the nose. The only major difference in this pattern is that she calls for the ears to be up front, up here. I like them in the back, so I put them in the back. I believe she also has a pattern for a duck cup, and the difference with that is I believe the ears are actually in the back, and then one ear is about this long, the other one's a little bit shorter, and they're both on this side. This was super simple. This is super quick. This is good to put like little bite-sized candies or maybe a plastic egg with a little prize inside. This is good for if your classrooms still have parties, if you need something quick just to keep the kids company, if you have coworkers or nieces and nephews, other family members that you need to give something out to them on Easter. This would be good as a party gift or on your Easter dinner setting on your table. Just some ideas. This was fun. This was so much fun to make. Speaking about Easter, not that, you know, this is strictly Easter. Made a chubby chick. Look how cute he is. This is the chubby chick from the crochetpinkpumpkin.com. This one I did with loops and thread, fluffy yellow and orange. I used a size H hook, 9mm safety eyes. The only thing you have to sew on is the beak and then embroider the feet. These are these crocheted in? I believe these are crocheted in. Mine are a little stiff. Why are mine so stiff? That's weird. Maybe because of the yarn. I don't know. But he's so cute. Look how cute he is. So sweet. This was a quick, easy workup. I want to say this took about maybe half hour, 40 minutes tops. So simple. Say hi to the hippo. How you doing? This is an Ami Hippo from graceandyarn.com. I don't think they called for this yarn. This is the Bernat Blanket Brights in Royal Blue. And I used a size I hook for this one, and I used 15mm eyes. I believe they used worsted weight yarn, so I believe this is another one I did jumbo size, and you can see how big this one came out. Ow, something's biting me. This one I had fun making. It is a little challenging. I believe you work from the nose back. You have to add the little nostrils. You have to add the ears and the now I'm trying to remember. You sew the head to the body, and you start at the feet and work your way up. That's how you do it. I couldn't remember. I'm sorry. So again, this was a fun thing to make. Oh, I already got a price tag. This was fun to make. This is one of the more challenging ones. You have to be patient on your sewing and your placement, and just make sure nothing goes a little, you know, crooked, you know, because it's happened to me a few times. This was nice to make. This is that one I would say is more of an advanced pattern, definitely not a beginner. All right, going back to 3 a.m. Grace Designs. I actually have two of these in two different colors. The other one is in one of my other baskets. I will bring it out in a little bit. But this one, it's an alien squish. I made this one using the Loops and Threads Impeccable yarn in the colors Citron and Black with a size H hook. So sweet. His one ear does not want to stand up. I don't understand why. The eyes, I believe they give you the directions of the eyes. This I did. I don't know if that's how they told you to do it. I don't remember. But this is, again, 3 a.m. Grace Designs is very easy to follow. This I would consider a beginner because all you're doing is going back and forth and then sewing two panels together. The ears, same thing, or not the ears, the antennas. Same thing. You're going to make two panels, you're going to sew them together, and then you're going to sew them on the top, excuse me, on the top of the head. He's so cute. One website I like to use is craftybunnybun.com. It's a cute name for a website. I really enjoy it. And first one thing I'm going to show you from them is the cubed puppy. How stinking adorable is this? How cute is he? I made this little guy with the Baby Bee Soft and Snuggly Daffodilly Silly yarn from Hobby Lobby. I used a G hook, 12mm eyes, and a 9mm nose. All in all, it's very simple. Again, you have to sew on all the extremities, including his tail. The only con about this is that although this is a very simple workup, you may get lost in the pattern itself. So you have to be extra careful with your counting. I would suggest if you need a notebook to keep track of everything, write everything down. This is something you definitely need to know your numbers and your math for. It is a super simple workup once you get used to it. They do a whole bunch of animals with a base pattern, and then the extras are just the ears, the legs, and the tails. You'll see what I mean in a few minutes. But this is the puppy. So cute. Okay, so we're going to go back to Coco the cat because I found another one I completely forgot I made. I made this one with Baby Bee Adorable Happylicious in a size H hook. This was the 15mm eyes and 12mm nose. And again, this is from mariskavos.nl. Super simple. I love this one. Oh. These are so soft and squishy. Henrietta the hen. Now, her face ended up way too high. I should have brought it down a little bit. This one I made with the Bernat Blanket Tweeds. Yeah, Woodland. Couldn't figure out couldn't remember the name of the yarn. And this is the comb is made with Bernat Blanket Mystical Burnt Orange, I think is the color, if I remember correctly. I will let you know for sure. This is 12mm eyes, a little bit of yellow for the nose. Super simple workup. Henny the hen came from crochet-patterns-free.com. This one was very fun to make. Again, this is more a go around the way kind of pattern, and then little tricks to make it stick up up top. Again, the face I would have brought down a little bit more and then moved the comb forward a little bit, but this was fun to make. This is a good first try for me. Going back to our states now. 3 a.m. Grace Designs. I made North Carolina. This is North Carolina. Yeah, you're looking at it right. Okay. I believe I made this with, apologize, I don't remember the name of the color. This is, I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby, size H hook. I just don't remember the color that it's called. If I find it later, I'll put it up here. This was not my first time making this one, but this was my first time with this color. I made one for my sister and I made one for my mom in different colors, and they both loved them. I made them each New Jersey too, because we're all Jersey girls. My mom and my sister moved down to North Carolina many years ago. So this was fun. And it gives good state pride too. Okay, going back to the craftybunnybun.com website. I told you that she does, oh my god, my hair is all over the place, my bad. I told you she does a whole bunch of cubed animals, and the ones I'm going to show you now are the same animal, different yarns and different hooks. This is what I mean by play with your yarns and your hooks to get different sizes of fun things. This is the cubed kitty. This one was made with Baby Bee Adorable Happylicious and a size H hook with 15mm eyes and a 12mm nose. And then you got this one, which was made with the Baby Bee Soft and Snug Daffodilly Silly G hook, 12mm eyes, and a 9mm nose. And you could tell the size difference. So cute. So much fun to make. This is another one that, you know, I tell you, play with your yarns, play with your hooks. It doesn't matter really unless you're making clothes, of course. It really doesn't matter the pattern. Play with it. Get an idea of, you know, what you can get away with, and, you know, have different options for different people. Some people like larger items, some people like smaller items, and this works. So much fun. Okay, so going back to AnnieCarawayArt.com, this is the other loaf cat I made. This was made with burlap blanket tweed in the color woodland, size H hook with 15mm yellow eyes. And this time I did add some whiskers, which was fun. Again, I would go back and forth. I would make some with and some without, but definitely got to keep his little nose in. Little tail, so cute. His little tootsies. This was fun. I actually love the colors on this one, so I think I'm going to make some more if I can get more of this yarn. Definitely going to make some more colors, some solids. I'm going to try and do some patterns, like tuxedos or, you know, anything like that. Super cute. Made another heart. This is the Bernat Blanket Brights Royal Blue and the size H hook. There you go. So this one kind of resembles the itty bitty kitties, the not so itty bitty kitties I showed you a little while ago, but there's a little bit of difference on this one. And this one is called the Chunky Cats. This one I did in the Bernat Blanket Tweed Woodland. I added yellow eyes, 15mm yellow eyes. I made the tail really long. This was probably why I decided not to make the tail so long. It kind of looks too much. So I think that's why I made them a little bit shorter on the other cats. Look how cute. I love the colors on this. So sweet. Again, this was thorsbycottage.com. The alien squish pillow I showed you guys before from 3am Designs. This is the one in I love I love this yarn purple from Hobby Lobby. So this is what it looks like in a dark purple with black. I gotta get my stuff more organized. I gotta actually like group my stuff together because I'm finding all these things and it's making me crazy. Janie's gonna laugh at me because Janie is a huge Christmas lover. It's all things Christmas all year round. Makes me nuts. She does it on purpose. I know she does. I'm not crazy. Yeah. So I found this in my stuff the other day. And I'm only bringing it up because this is a free pattern from yarnspirations.com, okay? And it's super cute. It's fun to make up. I would say you could probably find a way to make it longer. I'm not really 100% sure. Your Christmas paw stocking for your pups. And it's really sweet. It's not huge, so it's good for you know, if you have a smaller dog. I don't know if you can make them longer. Maybe if you did the original pattern and then just did like a cuff around the end. I'm not really sure. We'll have to work on that. I made this a few years ago. I completely forgot all about it. And they actually have one for a cat so that instead of the bone up here, it's a little fish. It's so sweet. Again, yarnspirations.com. That's the website where they sell a whole bunch of yarn from a whole bunch of different suppliers. But they have a ton of free patterns too for crocheting, knitting. I think they may even have some for needlework. But this is the back. So you get an idea of what it looks like before you add the paw prints and the bone. And then that's the front. How cute is that? I apologize. I made this with the red heart, tea leaf, white, and cherry red with a size H hook. I gotta find my pins now because I don't know where they are. Oh, there they are. Just so everybody knows, because I know you're seeing all these tags, what I do is I put the name of the pattern, I put the yarn I use, I put the size of the hook, and if I use the eyes, like this one, obviously I'm not going to use eyes. I put the size of the eyes and the nose if applicable. My only downfall is I don't put the pattern or the website on the cards. I actually have a spreadsheet on my computer. That's what I keep looking over there. before, just so you know. Funny thing about me, anybody that knows me knows I am desperately scared of snakes. But that won't stop me from making them. Guess what I got? Say hello to my little snake. He's so cute. This is a 4-foot snake, roughly. I can't get the whole thing on camera. I'm trying to go back as far as I can. This is a roughly a 4-foot snake. I don't even know where my tape measure is. I think it's upstairs. But it's a good sized snake. This one I used the loops and thread chenille yarn in the color Navy Speckles. I gave them 15 millimeter blue eyes, and I used a size H hook for this. Now, when I started making these, somebody, who was it? Oh, my stepfather told me I should add rattles to the tails. Now, I did 3 of them last year, and they sold. They were my first sold snakes at they were my first sold snakes at my North Carolina holiday craft show last November. They sold like really quick, and they are fun to make, and it was the best idea. The only problem is that I had the hardest time finding something small enough to go in the rattle, so it's not rock hard, so that, you know, when you give them to kids and they're swinging them around, like I just hit myself in the face, you know, you get smacked in the face, you don't get smacked with something, you know, extra hard. These don't have rattles, obviously, but when they do, I want something smaller that can still make noise, but, you know, can be surrounded by a whole bunch of stuffing. So much fun. This is so simple to make. It is time consuming depending on how long you want it. I would say this is like an all-day project. If you want to do a 1 skein all-day project, this is the one to go to. If you just want to sit and veg out and watch a whole bunch of movies but keep your hands busy, this is what you want to do. Outside of the head and the tip, it's single crocheting all the way around. I apologize. Let me tell you what the website is. I didn't tell you that. Oops. The website is amigurume.com. Put it up there. So like I said, I am definitely afraid of snakes. My nephew has a snake, and he always tries to chase me around the house when I go down to visit. It's a small snake. I still don't like it. So again, this is a 4-foot. This is Navy Speckles. This is also a 4-foot, and this one was made the Bernat Baby Blanket Petal Pink. Super pretty. This one was really pretty. These two are 6 feet. I have 2 of these in the same color, so I'm just going to show you the one. This one's 6 feet, and believe it or not, this is a discontinued yarn. This was from Nicole Stitch Chateau. Now, if you remember a little store called AC Moore, that was their name brand yarn. And that's when, I want to say this is when blanket yarn became popular. And this was one of the first stores, first yarn companies I saw make this kind of yarn. It was hard to work with at first, but it got easier. I believe the color for this was Red Pebbles. Size H hook, again, 15 millimeter eyes, as you can see. Again, this yarn is discontinued, obviously, because AC Moore went out of business. But some people are actually still selling Nicole Stitch Chateau or any Nicole Stitch yarn on like eBay or Etsy or anywhere you could find, you know, yarn like that. Nobody else has it. Nobody bought up this yarn when AC Moore went out of business. You know, kind of like Joanne just went out of business and Michael got some of their stuff. I think Hirschner's also did as well. Yeah, nobody went for Nicole. Sorry, Nicole. Again, I have 2 of these. You see how she is? Is she you? You see how it is all wrapped up? This is like 6 feet, give or take a few inches. That's how big it is. This was 1 skein. So, 2 of my biggest kicks recently are octopus and dinosaurs. Don't ask me how they work together. It just, I don't know. So I'm going to show you a whole bunch of dinosaurs that I made. I'm going to tell you right now that the website is amigurumirecetas.com. Okay. This is an easy pattern. It is a little time consuming with the extras that you got to do. You got to sew each of the, you got to crochet each of the spikes, the muzzle, the arms, the legs, the tail. And you have to sew everything together. But once you get the hang of it, like I've made a whole bunch of these. Once you get the hang of it, it goes by really quick. Now let me show you the size difference. This one I made with loops and threads impressions. The main color is amethyst. The spikes are loops and threads impeccable citron, okay? Size H hook, 12 millimeter eyes. Look how cute this guy came out, right? Now watch the size difference. This one in my right hand is the Burlap Blanket Mystical Spearmint, and the spikes are Storm Blue. Again, this is a size H hook and 15 millimeter eyes. So same hook size, different yarns. I would probably do this one in an I hook, only because the H hook is a little hard to work with and it hurts my hands and my wrists a little bit. So I might work, and when I start making these again, I think I'm going to go up to an I hook. But look how cute. So I made this guy, again, this is Spearmint and Storm Blue in Burlap Blanket Mystical. Loops and threads. He came out a little bit smaller, which is fine. Like I said, play with your hooks, play with your yarns. Let me show you all the ones I made. This one, I think, is my absolute favorite because I made so many different colors. This is the Burlap Blanket Mystical. Main color is Cinder. 15 millimeter eyes, size H hook. And if I remember correctly, this is Earthware, Canyon, Sunshine, Fresh Green, Storm Blue, and Purple Sky. Look how cute. I want to do that in white. How sweet is this with the all different colors? So cute. This one is the Spearmint and Sunshine from the Burlap Blanket Mystical. This one is the Burlap Blanket Mystical Storm Blue and Spearmint. This one, this is the Burlap Baby Blanket Dino Egg Dots. And then we've got Race Car Red, Carrot Orange, School Bus, Royal Blue, and Pure Purple. These are the Burlap Blanket Brights. Now, my only self-critique, again, is I would make the spikes a little bit smaller, maybe work it up one more row up here and move them all up so I can add the green. I didn't have enough room to fit the green. I made a green spike. I don't know where I put it. I might have accidentally thrown it out, but I just couldn't fit it. So I just stuck with the blue and the purple. But look how cute that one came out. Let's see. Oh, another small one. Sweet. So cute. This one's really pretty. I love the colors on this one. This is the Loops and Threads Impressions in the color Saltwater Taffy. And then the spikes again are these Loops and Threads Impeccable Citron H hook 15 millimeter blue eyes. So pretty. This is such a girly girl. I think I'm gonna give her a bow, or maybe I'll just add an option if they want the bow or not. We'll see. So sweet. Okay, so once again, same hook size, 2 different yarns, and look at the difference in size. Look at that. I'm not crazy about this one. He's cute. I love the colors. I'm not really crazy. I guess maybe because, again, I think when I work with the Bernats and I do something like this, I should work with a larger hook. This is the Burlap Blanket Primary Dots. And then the blue is the Burlap Blanket Brights Royal Blue. Again, this is the size H hook. 15 millimeter eyes. A little bit of black scrap for the face. really pretty. I'm not crazy about the length he came out to be. I like him to be a little pudgy. So I will either, one, use a larger hook, and or maybe take off 1 or 2 rows here and then maybe one on the back. I'm not sure yet. I'll play with it. I'll figure it out. It'll be fine. But yeah, same thing. And I apologize. This is the I Love This Yarn Aegean Stripe and Big Twists in black and white. And then wings got a little closed up. 12 millimeter eyes. Don't worry about the tags, guys. I know it's a little distracting, but you'll survive. So cute. I tell you, this is by Hooked by Robin. I apologize. www.hookedbyrobin.com. This guy is a little scary to me because I don't know if I'm crazy about the way his face came out. You be the judge. This is an owl from www.crochetandaction.blogspot.com. He's my owl. It's a little scary to me. I don't know what it is. I think it's definitely the face. It's the eyes, I think, that kind of turns me off. This is, I love making new things, and this was just one of those days that I just wanted to try something new. And I know I went back and forth, but I just gave in and just left them where they were. I think the eyes should have been, the white should have been a little bit larger and then a little closer to the nose, or at least touching the nose maybe. I'm not mad at it, but it's just not my favorite. The pattern is very simple to work with. And I think the only things, if I remember, you have to add on are the face, the wings, and the feet. I believe this is one whole workup. This is the I Love This Yarn Aegean Stripe and White, size H hook, 12 millimeter blue eyes. Again, not my favorite, but I don't hate it. This is just, I think this was the first time I used this pattern, and the face just didn't turn out the way I had wanted it to. Okay, let's have a little fun. I'm going to show you some jumbo octos. Look how fun these are. How fun. It'd be better if you could see the face. These are so much fun to make. This is from the lefthandedcrocheter.com. And the pattern he uses, he tells you to use any yarn hook you want, any size yarn you want. The pictures he shows on his website, he or she, I apologize. The pictures they show on their website, I believe, is the worsted weight yarn. This is obviously Bernat blanket yarn. So let me give you the details, which, oh, it fell off. Okay. This is the Bernat blanket. This is the primary dots. And again, this is the Bernat blanket brights and royal blue. 24 millimeter eyes. This is a size K hook. So when I say play with your yarn, play with your hooks, this is what I mean. Because the very first time I made an octopus with this pattern, I actually used worsted weight yarn, and I used an H hook, and it came out to a cute size. I don't have any right now, but it did come out to a cute size. So definitely, when I say play with your hooks, play with your yarns, and you can make different sizes of anything you want, this is exactly what I mean. This is like prime example. Yeah, 3 more. I'll show you really quick the colors, because I made different colors, obviously. You know me and colors. I have a ton of colors. Hundreds of them, actually. This cutie girl was made with Bernat baby blanket, baby grays, and white. I know it's funny, it's called baby grays because we got pink and white in here, but that's the name. That I don't come up with the names. I'm sorry. Again, 24 millimeter eyes and a K hook. Bernat baby blanket. This is solid white, and these are the baby grays. Okay, next up is another pretty girl. So sweet. This one is the Bernat Blanket Brights Neon Sherbet. I don't know if they make this color anymore. If they do, you may be able to find it in Walmart. K hook, 24 millimeter eyes again, and I I used the Bernat Blanket Brights purple, whatever the color purple was for the mouth. See? Very pretty. This funky one. I love the colors on this one. So cute. This is the Bernat Blanket Zing Dot. And then, again, the Bernat Blanket Brights Royal Blue. I love working with the Royal Blue for some reason. K-Hook, 24mm eyes. Again, Royal Blue for the mouth. Very sweet. The best thing, I can't show you on camera, the best thing you can do, too, is you can stand him up on his legs, or you can have all the legs spread out, which is so much fun, because I display them both ways on my table at my shows. So, continue with the octopus theme. I'm going to show you the medium-sized ones I made of this. I made two different, well, technically I made 3 different sizes, but I'm calling all these my medium ones. So I made these little guys. I made a whole bunch of these. I'm going to show you all the colors. The website is www.mohumohu.com. Now, the pattern is for little ones that you can really turn into keychains, but I used larger ones. And let me pull one that's got a tag on it. Yeah, this one I use H hooks on. So this is the Bernat Blanket. I apologize. This is the Bernat Baby Blanket Sparkle. I believe the color is Sunshine, if I remember correctly. Do I have this on here? Sunlight. Sunlight. That's what it's called. So I have one of these. Actually, I take that back. I got 2 of these. Why don't I have it marked for 2? We'll have to figure that out. So I got 2 of those. Got 3 of those. See what I mean when I say I got to get my stuff together and be more organized? I actually got 4 of them. This one is a little bit, again, you could tell there's a little bit of a size difference. This one's a little bit smaller, not by much, but still, it's a little bit smaller. This is the Bernat Baby Blanket Frosting in the color Seaside. Again, size H hook, 12mm eyes. And I forgot to tell you, this is also 12mm eyes. This one's so cute and soft. And this is the Bernat Baby Blanket Sparkle in the color Limeade. This is the this is the Dino Egg Dot. These are all H hooks, by the way, unless I tell you otherwise. These 2, can you see their faces? Yes. These 2 are the Bernat Blanket Mystical in the color Earthware. H hook. These I actually use 15mm eyes. I think I ran out of 12, so I went up to 15. And they're both cute, so it works for me. I love this one. This is the Loops and Thread Fluffy Fleck Yellow. H hook, 12mm blue safety eyes. These came out so cute. We got the Bernat Blanket Primary Dot. The one thing I love about this yarn is, especially if you know what I'm talking about with the autism awareness, this would be good if you're doing an autism awareness fundraiser. You can use this yarn as long as you can still find it. I haven't been able to find it since Joann's closed. I don't know if yarnspirations.com has this available right now because they have a lot of out of stock yarn. But if I can find this, I am going to be stocking up on this one. These 2 are the Bernat Blanket Bright Race Car Red. This is the Bernat Blanket, Zing Dot. And the Royal Blue for the nose. So cute. I made this one with the Bernat Blanket Shady Green, 12mm eyes. This one I made a little bit different. This one I didn't add the little extra oomph. I just made a simple little smile. This is the Baby Bee Snugs and Kisses Grape Jelly. This is a size J hook, and it came out almost the same size. So again, you got to figure out your sizes and your yarn hooks. This is prime example. They're almost the same exact size, but because of the size difference between the yarn and the size difference that I use between two different hooks, you see what I mean. And this little cutie patootie, this is the Loops and Threads Impression Saltwater Taffy. I used a size H hook and 12mm eyes, and you can see the difference. These are both H hooks, but because of the size of the yarn, you see the difference. Those octos that I just showed you now, I'm going to show you what they actually look like with the pattern itself. This is how small they're supposed to be. Super cute. These are fun just for like stress balls, or to make into keychains, or like I tell my customers, if you just want to throw them at somebody who's annoying you. This is made with a G hook. This is the I Love This Yarn Aegean Stripe from Hobby Lobby. G hook, 6mm eyes. I have a whole bunch of these. I'm not going to take them all out, but this is a bag of, at least let me take out the card so I can read to you what I have here. Okay, so we got cherry red. We have pumpkin, cherry red pumpkin. That's a black light from Red Heart. This is tea leaf. I'm sorry, these are all almost these are almost all Red Heart yarn. I think there's one or two in here that are not Red Heart. I think it's I Love This Yarn. So Red Heart Super Savory Yarn, cherry red, pumpkin, tea leaf, black light. And this little one, I'll just take out this one. This is I Love This Yarn Amber Honey. So cute. These are Red Heart Spring Green. This is the, yeah, he's got eyes. Loops and Threads Purple. You can't tell his eyes because it's so dark. Oops. Are I Love This Yarn from Hobby Lobby in the color pink. Oh, another purple Loops and Threads, white. Love This Yarn turquoise. Oops, sorry. Turquoise. I Love This Yarn from Hobby Lobby. This is the Loops and Threads Amethyst impression. I'm sorry, Loops and Threads Impressions in the color Amethyst. This is a size H hook with 10mm eyes. That's the difference. It's a little bit larger. It's not that much. This is I Love This Yarn Daydreamery. These are the Karen Jumbo's Russian Sage. Okay, so that's it for my little itty bitties. Again, these are good to use as squish balls, like stress balls. You can add a keychain onto them, make them to keychains. I joke with my customers. I say, you know, if somebody's annoying you, just throw it at them. You'll get it back. And sometimes even I just give these away for somebody who buys, you know, a good amount of stuff at my tables. At the end of the year, usually my very last show is the one in North Carolina. The last couple years I haven't been able to get into any December shows just because time limit, or, you know, whatever the case may have been. But usually my last show, I'll just end up giving away for free whatever I have left at the end of, you know, my last day of the show. I only have 3 of these guys because I haven't made them in so long, and I just found these. These are kitty beans. Cute little guys. I have 2 orange and I have a cherry red. Pumpkin, sorry. Pumpkin, orange, and cherry red. This is a free pattern off of Instagram, and the lady that makes it, her tag is It's K Hook. Okay. Now, I don't know if I'm sure she still crochets. She doesn't post as much anymore. These are on her, I think these are on her storyboard. She actually made them to make them into garlands. I didn't make them into garlands. I actually turned them into keychains upon request, or these are just sold as is. They're cute. They're small, and it's something for, you know, smaller, my smaller customers to order, you know, children, teenagers that just need something to you know, play with, squish around. I have to make a whole bunch more of these. These are super quick. These are like 15-20 minutes tops. I'm not even kidding. We're at the end. Can you believe it? I've saved my best one for last because these were my best seller at my very first market. And they're so much fun to make. They're so simple. If you go back to Repeat Crafter Me, go to the search bar and type up Friendly Zombie. This is what you will come up with. I call them pocket monsters, but she calls them friendly zombies. These are so much fun to make. They're so simple. This is good for like beginners to practice on, because you're going to be working with, it's like you're going back to school. You're going to be working with shapes more than anything. It's going to be 2 square panels, or kind of almost rectangular. Well, yeah, square panels, some circles, some ovals, cute little legs. Now, when you go to her website, again, I think her name is Sarah, repeatcrafterme.com. Hers look a little bit different. I put eyes on both of my, as for both of my eyes, and she puts little spiky hair. I don't do that anymore. I just don't. But what she does is, for, I think, the large eye, she puts an X through it to make it look like an actual zombie. I love the idea of 2 different eyeballs. So that's what I do. So this is the Red Heart Super Saver Pink. I love this yarn, Aegean Stripes. Karen Jumbo Russian Sage, I apologize. Loops and Threads Purple, Soft Classic Purple. And finally, just plain old white. So cute. And that is the end of it. Yay! Okay, so that is it for the big collection so far. I will be back every Friday from here on out to show you what I made throughout the week. Some weeks will be busy, some weeks won't be. I'm guessing the summer is going to be more in than out because I cannot handle the summer much anymore. These past 2 days pretty much did me in. I'm so happy the weather broke today, so yeah. All right, so I will see you hopefully Monday, whether it's live or whether it's a recorded video. I am working on a schedule. I'm hoping maybe do Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Monday will be a toss-up between a live and a pre-recorded video. Wednesday maybe Whip Wednesday lives. I'm not really sure yet. And then Fridays will be finally Fridays. Everything I crocheted out through everything I crochet throughout the week. I am very tired. Can you tell? I am so tired right now. I gotta let my dogs out. And I got to clean up this mess I just made. So let me get going. I will talk to you soon. Have a good weekend. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Again, all the information, I'm going to put as much as I can throughout the video. I don't think I'm going to have enough room in the description box. Apparently, they only give you so much room to write so many characters. So we'll do what we can. All right, guys. Take care of yourself. Be safe. Crochet a lot. And I will talk to you soon. Have a good weekend. Bye.